Okay, in this video I'm going to go over how to do percent increase or decrease problems. Okay, so like it'll say, for example, let's say my boss at work, and this is just an example of how a pay increase works. I make $12 an hour. Well, if he tells me I'm going to make an increase of $1 per hour, well, I know what I'm going to make pretty easily. That's $13 per hour. But a lot of times they increase by percent. So if you make $12 per hour and they say, well, I'm going to increase your pay by 15% per hour, you probably want a way to figure out how much money that actually is. So that's what the point of this is. Okay, and these are kind of problems that would indicate an increase, decrease in percent. Some of them are kind of goofy, some of them not. But there are 500 stray cats in the town of Alta. That amount is going to increase by 5%. How many cats will there be after the 5% increase? Now I set up my proportion with the 100%, but I'm not going to just put 5% over it. Increase 5% means we're going to take 100% and add 5%. And just taking that 100% and adding the percent. Sometimes you'll be subtracting it, but we'll see that come up later. 105 plus 5 is 105%, and now you can go ahead and fill out your percent part of the proportion. Now also with increase and decrease in percent, we don't think of it as part over total. We think of it as after, and before, and it's always like that. The before is always straight across from the 100%, okay? 100% is across from before. Okay, now I got to decide where to put that 500. Well, actually, rather than decide where to put the 500, let's read the question. It says, how many cats will there be after the 5% increase? So I have after circled. That means we don't know the after, so that's X, and then 500 must represent the before. And then I can just cross multiply and divide. Okay, so I will take 105 times 100, 52,500. And over here, that's just going to be 100x. And then you could just divide by 100 here, because 100 times x, so the x is being multiplied, so we divide. And 52,500 divided by 100 is 525. So that makes sense. There are 500 stray cats in the town of Alta. The amount increased by 5%. So how many are after the 5% increase? There's going to be 525. So 25. So 25. It increased 25 from 500 to 525. A school's number of students decreases by 5%. If there were 600 students after the decrease, how many students were there before? Now it says decrease 5%. So you're going to take 100%. This time you're going to minus 5%. And that goes down to 95%. 100 minus 5. Okay, so it's after, before. Okay, now they're asking me how many students there were before, so I must not have the before, I must have the after. I have 600. So set up your equals and then circle one of your diagonals, probably the one without the x. Okay, so I take 100 times 600, and that's going to be 60,000. And the other one's going to be 95x. So it is time then to divide, because x is just being multiplied by 95. Some of these problems you get whacked out decimals, okay? So you can't like freak out and think you're doing it wrong. Like 631, now look at the 600s label. They're talking students, okay? I can't have decimals for students. Like if it's money, I can have decimals, 2 digits after the decimal. But with students, I can only have whole numbers of students. So I'm going to put, you can either put 631 or 632. Just don't put the decimal, because that doesn't make any sense. You can also put 631. I don't really care that much, but just know the context of the problem. Okay, an item is marked up 15%. It costs $15.59 after the markup. What's the price before the markup? So again, the word up 15% means I would need to add 15% to 100, not just put 15% if I want to use this method. Okay, there are other methods to use on this. I'll start with this one, see how you do with it. Okay. Okay, then it's after and before. What was the price before the markup? So X is before, and because I don't know the before, that's why they're asking me to find it. And then $15.59 is your after. Okay, so 100 times 15.59 is 1,559. Then on the other side, you're going to have 115x. Because you're taking 115 times x, but since we don't know x, we just write that expression. So divide by 115. So 1,559 divided by 115. Now, this is, look at your 1559 label. It's a money, so I can have a decimal, but I should only have two numbers after the decimal. So I'll put 13.55. You can also put 13.56 would be okay too. Just you can have a decimal if you're talking money. Okay, an item is on sale for 25% off its original price of $45. How much is it going to be after the sale? Okay, remember off means you would subtract. I don't just put 25 because I would want to use 75% over the 100. Okay, and then it's always after, before. When you do an increase, decrease, that's how you need to think of it. You can't think of it as part whole. It won't make any sense. Or part total. My bad, part total. Okay, how much is it after the sale? So I don't know what the after is. I do know the before then. You got to know one or the other. Okay, you got to put it in the right place. You see how here X is here, here it's here. That's why I've circled it to kind of help you out. Okay, so on one side I take 75 times 45, that's 3,375. On the other side you're going to put 100x. Okay, then just divide by 100. So 33.75. What am I doing here? Yeah, 3,375 divided by 100 is 33.75. Pen's dying. I have to go to pencil here. Might not show up as good on camera, but okay, two more. I buy a textbook for $40. After I'm done with it, I can sell it for 12% more than what I bought it for. How much did I sell it for after I was done? So we know we have 100%. Now look at the percent. It's 12% more. Okay. So I want to take 100 and add 12, and that's 112%. Okay, so it's after over before. Okay, it says how much did I sell it for after I was done, so it's after X, and then $40 is before. Okay, so I take 112 times 40 first, 4,480. On the other side, 100 times X is 100X. Now X is being multiplied, so we have to divide. Okay, 4,480 divided by 100 is 44.8. So X equals 44.8 D, because you're taught that's a money amount, so have two digits after the decimal. Don't put just one. Okay, you want two. Okay, and then the last one. Gas decreased in price by 5%. If the price after the decrease was $2.39, how much did gas cost before it decreased, okay? So we're gonna make, ratio lines. So you can put 100%, okay? And then it decreased 5%, okay? So you gotta take 100% and minus 5%. So that's 95%. So we have 95%, and then it is after, before. That's always the proportion. This is your ratio that is indicative of the percents. All right, now it says how much did gas cost before. So if they're asking me to find it, that must mean I don't know that one. And then $2.39 after. Okay, then I cross multiply. So I take 100 times 2.39. And divide that by 90. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, didn't mean to do that. 239. I take 95 times x, and that'd be 95x. And then it's time to divide by the 95. So 239 divided by 95. Okay, again, that's money amount, so I can have a decimal, okay? 2.51, yep, $2.51.